Welcome to the dark corners of Japan's forgotten past. These are not just stories. They are whispers passed down through generations of spirits, curses, and strange creatures who still walk among us. Tonight, we invite you to listen closely. But be warned, what you hear may stay with you longer than you'd like. Let's begin. In the heart of the Japanese mountains, far from the reach of phone signals or streetlights, lies an old village called Mizukawa. No more than 20 families live there, most of them elderly. The roads are cracked, the shrines forgotten, and the river that once fed the village has long since dried. But one thing still grows strong. A single, massive willow tree at the river's edge. Its branches twist like veins, reaching toward the sky. And beneath it, people say, she waits. Yuji was a city boy now. College life, convenience stores, 5 Geed left the countryside years ago. But when his grandmother passed away, he had no choice but to return for her funeral. She'd raised him after his parents' accident. She always said, "Don't go near the willow tree at night. Never past midnight. That's when she weeps." Yuji never believed in those stories. Ghosts, spirit, she'd grown out of all that. But something pulled at him that night. Maybe it was the sake. Maybe the nostalgia. Maybe something else. At 11:30 p.m., he took his grandmother's old futon, a flashlight, and walked to the willow tree. The bark was smooth and cold. The moonlight made the leaves shimmer like silver rain. He sat beneath the tree and laughed to himself. This is what everyone was afraid of? He even pulled out his phone to record himself sleeping there. Proof to show his friends how silly old legends were. At 12:01 a.m., the wind stopped. Dead silent. He opened his eyes, expecting to hear a dog barking or an owl hooting. Instead, he heard a voice. A whisper. Coming from inside the tree. Yuji. He froze. "Who's there?" he called out. Nothing. Then, he heard a soft thump behind him. He turned, and there, resting neatly on the ground, was a small glass sake bottle. Inside a folded letter. With shaking hands, Yuji pulled it out and read. "If you are reading this, then you did not listen. You are under the willow. Past midnight. And she knows your name. There is still time. Do not respond to her. Do not look at her. No matter what form she takes." The letter was signed in his grandmother's handwriting. A chill swept over him. Leaves began to fall, no wind, just falling like rain. Then a figure. Barefoot. White robes. Hair long enough to touch the ground. She stepped out from behind the tree, her face hidden beneath black strands. He tried to run, but his legs were stuck. Like the roots of the tree had wrapped around his ankles. The woman raised her hand and pointed at him. "You promised," she whispered. He didn't know what she meant. But suddenly, his phone screen lit up. It was a video of himself, sleeping and then standing, walking toward the tree, disappearing into its bark. The video kept playing, but it wasn't him anymore. It was the woman. She turned to the camera, smiling, wearing his face. "You broke the promise," she said again. Yuji remembered. When he was 7, he had played near the willow and fallen into a faint. His grandmother later said he was taken for a moment. She told him, "You came back, but not all of you." The next morning, the villagers found a futon under the willow, a phone beside it, and a note written in Yuji's handwriting. She whispered, "I listened. I shouldn't have answered. No body was ever found." But every year, on the anniversary of his grandmother's death, the willow weeps. And the villagers say, they hear two voices now. Some trees offer shade, some offer secrets. But the willow, she never forgets who promised to return. When the rain falls too hard in the mountains, and fog wraps around the trees like wet cloth, that's when the lantern appears, glowing red, floating alone on Dozaka Pass. And if you follow it, you may never return. There's a narrow mountain road connecting two forgotten towns in rural Japan. Twisting, overgrown, unpaved. People call it Dozaka Pass. No one uses it anymore. Too many stories, too many disappearances. Old maps don't even list it. But if you ask the locals, they'll say the same thing. Don't go through the pass when it rains. And if you see the red lantern, turn around. Ryokan was a traveling monk. A quiet man in his 50s. Carrying nothing but his prayer beads and a walking stick. He believed in logic, in karma, in the impermanence of all things. He did not believe in ghost stories. But one rainy evening, on his journey north, the main road was blocked by a landslide. Locals pointed him toward a shortcut. A path he'd never heard of. It's old, they said. But it'll take you over the mountain. Just don't go if the rain gets heavier. He nodded, thanked them, and entered Dozaka Pass. The rain whispered on the leaves. Moss blanketed the stones. The air was thick, wet, heavy. After an hour of walking, Ryokan saw it. A light, just ahead. A red lantern, gently bobbing through the trees. He called out, "Hello? Is someone there?" No response. Only the sound of dripping leaves. He followed it, thinking perhaps a lost traveler needed help. 10 minutes passed. Then 20. He reached a wooden bridge with an old railing. Crossed it. The lantern vanished. He took out his sutra book to rest. But just as he opened it, there it was again, the red lantern, now ahead of him, further down the path. He followed. Again the bridge. Same creaking boards. Same rotting railing. Again and again. The path repeated. He was walking in circles. The 5th time crossing the bridge, Ryokan stopped. Then, from the fog, a voice. "You dropped your tofu." Startled, he turned. A small boy stood in the mist. Wearing a straw hat too big for his head. Holding a plate of tofu with both hands. Smiling with small, blackened teeth. "It's yours," the boy said. The tofu was dripping but not with water. Ryokan saw red. Blood. The boy began to speak without moving his mouth. "You are kind. You chant for the lost. That's why she chose you." Ryokan backed away. "Who?" "The one who lights the lantern. She's lonely. She needs company." The boy stepped closer. "The bridge is her cradle. The tofu is her offering. You are the next monk." The boy vanished like smoke. The rain became heavier. The path turned to mud. Ryokan dropped to his knees. He began to chant, Om Amogya Hum. A gust of wind blew out the lantern. Darkness. Silence. Then footsteps. But not his. From all directions. Whispers circled him. "Stay. Stay." The next day, the rain cleared. Travelers on the main road reported seeing a red lantern glowing deep in the forest. A monk's robe was found near the old bridge. Beside it a plate of tofu. No one ever saw Ryokan again. But if you enter Dozaka Pass during a storm, they say you'll see him. A man with no face, holding a lantern in one hand. And a plate of tofu in the other. He won't speak. But if he offers you the tofu, don't take it. Some shortcuts are never meant to be taken. Some roads are only walked once. Some trees offer shade. Some offer secrets. But the willow, she never forgets who promised to return.